welcome to the StewKast. I am here with Corey Castle, who's getting himself situated. I removed him to get him let him get himself situated here because it's just like, oh. So, hey, how you doing? You there?
Hello. Yeah.
All right. I mean, you're on now. Do you want me to just give you a minute, or you got it? Looks like you got it.
I think I'll get it in a sec.
Yeah, you're giving me motion sickness. So, hey, thank you for joining us here on the StewCast with this Combat Zone Network, which is subsidiary of the Fans First Sports Network. I am Lou Marconi. You can see right here at L Marconi 251 on Instagram, at L Marconi 1973 on X. My friend, co-host, and hetero partner, breathing heavy right now, at Corey Castle, everywhere. So feel free to reach out to him if you need anything or want to do anything. And he's putting on his hoodie while we're talking. All right, so this is what we got going on. We're going to talk about Crown Jewel, do a nice little review of that, and then we'll
Yeah.
go from there. So, hey, you got anything you want to plug while we're doing this?
Um, check out Evolving. Uh, go to youtube.com/at Corey Castle and check out my podcast Evolving
Evolving with
with
Corey
Corey
Castle.
Castle on there or wherever you find podcasts and you subscribe to them.
Yeah,
Go ahead and check out Evolving with Corey Castle. And
absolutely. Yeah, we're live on X right now, and
hope
guys,
everybody's having a great day so far.
absolutely. And I'm telling you right now, we are not here. We're not going to talk about the election last night. It happened, but this is a pro wrestling podcast. It's not political. So if you're here for political talk, get onto the Sunday Stew Pot, the Rumble show. We'll talk more about that. We're going to tape that later on this week. But I appreciate each and every one of you for joining us. Hey, please get a chance to check out the sponsor of the show and the details of the show, Hemisphere Coffee Roasters. Order up some coffee. You guys are doing great. We appreciate how the viewers of our shows come out and they do check out the sponsor. Everything looks wonderful. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
So now, before we go any further, while you get yourself situated, why don't we take a pause for a break for our
Yeah.
sponsors right now? All right, how about them sponsors? All right, here we go. All right, cool. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining us. Okay, let's dive right in, man. Crown Jewel. I watched it this morning. Just so you know, I watched the replay on Peacock this morning
Okay, yeah, I
because
watched
I
it.
didn't. I
I
didn't.
watched it on Saturday. So
You watched it live. Okay, I watched the replay of it. Go ahead. What do you give your thoughts?
um, geez, I wish I could say more positive things. It's not that I can say that I have a lot of negative things to say. It just feels like it was like shrugs. That was all right kind of show, Like
Hmm.
it didn't feel as special as I think they wanted it to feel for everyone.
Okay.
I, I
Um.
mean, I mean, the bloodline thing going first was interesting, and then the fact that Sammy got just like I've been saying, oh, wait till they get Sami Zayn back involved with the whole storyline. They did that, and it's like
Mhm.
they flew him all the way to Saudi just for him to get into a run-in. Like he didn't even have a match. I was like,
Yeah,
oh man, that must have been a long flight. That sucked. I hope it was worth it for him.
he got paid.
Oh yeah,
He got paid, so it was worth it as long as he got paid. That's all that matters. He was on the
yeah,
show. He got paid. What was after that? The four-way with the chicks.
yeah. The four-way tag match.
Yeah, that was, I say what, the bloodline. Which is just my comment on the bloodline match. I was surprised that um, Roman Reigns did the job. That
Yeah,
surprised me a
yeah.
little bit. That
Well, look,
surprised me.
the fact that like they keep continuing to put Solo straight over, like
Yeah.
Cody put him straight over, and then Roman put him straight over. Like, not to say that it's like a fully like a clean put over, but I mean that they're just like staying. They're like they have him pinning major league players.
Right. They do. So they're pushing him.
Right.
They're pushing him, which hey, they obviously have plans for him, which is great.
Mhm.
Now the women's match. I mean, this is awesome. You know how much I hate that.
I didn't catch it, unfortunately. I
Oh,
mean,
they were doing that during. Well, they were going from one high spot to another. But when you have that many people, it
right.
kind of that way.
I fast forwarded through it, honestly.
So you probably did that with Nia Jackson, Liv Morgan too.
um, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like we were like, I think we didn't watch it as it happened. We watched it like we like cooked dinner and sat down and watched it.
Yeah.
You know,
I
that kind of stuff. I
I
think
had. Go ahead. Go ahead.
we had a party to go to in the evening, so we went to the party and came home, and then consumed it. I think on Sunday.
Yeah, because it was like the Halloween stuff was still
Right.
happening.
Right.
I had a Browns game to cover. I had a Buckeyes game to cover. I had Cavs games to cover. I knew, and plus the election was last night, so I was getting ready. I was keeping myself up on that. Stayed up late for the results and everything. But for the most part, I said, okay, Wednesday morning, I'll have time to do that. So I'll have a chance to do it. So what I wanted to do was I said, okay, I'll watch it. That way, when I do this show, it'll be fresh in my mind instead of me thinking back. Like, cause I do that. I'll watch it. And then a couple of days later, I've done so many other things. It's like, okay, what exactly? I'm trying to remember what happened. What was the Randy Orton, Kevin Owens. Give me your
Yeah, that
thoughts.
went nowhere. That was a nothing. Like it was like an angle. Like they didn't
Yeah.
even.
They didn't
It
even
was
start the
just
match. They
they
didn't even
did
start the
an
match. Yeah.
angle to like set up for another week's worth of feud
Hmm.
or whatever. And
Or how
it
long that's going to take it.
right, however long they plan on going with it. Once again, they flew them all the way to Saudi just to do that. I hope they got paid really well.
I'm sure they did. I'm sure they're. I'm sure they're. I'm almost positive they're
Because
not.
that's like a that. How long of a flight is that? That's like a. I remember when Alyssa flew that, and it was such a long flight. I'm trying to remember. It was like 18-hour flight or something.
The longest flight I did was 20 hours to basically Guam and Saipan.
Mm.
That was 18. That was like 28 straight hours of daylight too, because we crossed the international date line.
Wow.
I was completely screwed up when I got there, jet lag wise, and when I got home. So
Right. So yeah, I can imagine for these wrestlers and these wrestling personalities who
yeah.
uh, took that big long flight to just have to go over there and put their wrestling gear on and go out there and try to. But dude, I have to say that the timing on that spot that Roman and Sammy did was so perfect. Like the collision right in the middle of the center of the ring. Their timing was so perfect. You know
I'm
what I'm
sorry.
talking about?
Repeat that again. I'm sorry. That broke up a little
The
bit.
timing on Roman and Sammy when they did that collision right in the center
Yeah,
of the ring,
yeah.
it
That
was
was good with Sami Zayn.
perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. And hey, you know, it was I liked it. I mean, I liked it. I'm trying to think what other match was there. Oh, they had the three-way with the LA Knight retaining his belt.
Yeah.
I love
The
watching him work. I just love
the
watching him work.
crowd was dead for anything that didn't have LA Knight in that match. Like they gave zero crap about the other two guys. Like very obviously they did not care at all about Carmelo Hayes or Andrade at all.
Hmm. Perfect. Yeah. No, they
But
they really didn't. LA Knight, he's such an exceptional talent. I'm not taking away from anything else that anybody else has done,
mm,
but I mean, just watching that match, it was just like, man, he's really good. I mean, I always like watching him work. I really, when especially somebody that athletic, being able to do what they can do, I can honestly respect that. And the one that surprised me was Seth Rollins. That match
mm,
surprised me the way they finished that one because I did not expect Seth to go over the way he did. I don't know if you expected that or not. Seth Rollins against
Bronson Reed, yeah.
Bronson Reed.
Um,
Yeah,
um,
tell me,
I'm
but
kind of having a hard time. Oh, was it
remember?
like a super stomp off the top rope or something?
Yeah.
That was
He went over
it
clean. Yeah,
felt like unrewarding. It felt
yeah.
flat. Like
It was kind of like,
yeah.
I don't know where they're taking it. I don't know what they're going to do. So
I heard one podcaster say, "Well, he wanted it more. He just wanted it more." That's I I think universally it seems as if most people didn't like this PLE. It didn't. This got very poor reviews
okay, well,
from what I can tell so far.
yeah, the Liv Morgan Nia Jax was what I expected it to be.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
I could see why they had Liv Morgan go over because
Hmm.
for obvious reasons. Do I have to say it out loud? I mean, she's better looking. I mean,
Hmm.
I don't know if you think that if you not necessarily if you agree with whether she's better looking or not, but do you agree with that's the reason why? You can let me know.
Um, I think that's a factor for sure. I mean, the Saudi people already have their thoughts on women, and I
Of
think
course.
uh, the it it might have caused a whole other backlash if they put it on Naya.
Hmm.
If it had gone the other way, there would have been a backlash. But I mean, they've got to love pretty skinny blonde American women. Sure.
25 goats for her. I can just hear it right now. Yeah, did I say that out loud? Did I? All right. So, like I said, it was uh it was interesting to say the least. Did you have a favorite match of the show? Because that's the next one I want to talk about is my favorite match of the show.
Mm. Did we cover all of them?
Nope.
No. I mean, what was after Naya and Liv, and then
They had
what was
the three way. It was a three way,
right?
and then
And
after
the
then
main
after
event followed that. Gunther and Cody.
that was my favorite.
It was a good match.
Oh yeah, I liked the finish. I loved the finish.
Oh
I
yeah,
love.
dude. I automatically, and I said to Alyssa as we were watching it with a lot of this stuff, I was like, that went exactly the way it should have went.
Yeah.
And that finish for that match, I don't know if it. I mean, Gunther as a character is way more dominant. So like they had way more even of a match than I expected them to have. Um, but it was an excellent match. Yeah.
Hmm. Good, good, good. I think just like I said, that finish from the sleeper and how they worked it
Right.
in and everything. Yeah, it made sense.
Hmm.
Completely made sense.
And then
So
and then they have the one commentator automatically uh, automatically brought up Bret Hart and how Gunther was just picking on Bret Hart, and that's how Bret Hart beat Roddy Piper at SummerSlam for the Intercontinental title. That same roll up,
okay.
but he didn't have him run up the turnbuckles like Bret did.
No, no, he didn't have to because he was
Hmm.
already on the ground.
Right,
So yeah, but he still leveraged his body weight,
right,
which it could work. I mean, that was actually that was a solid finish.
yeah,
So
it was.
mhm.
Agreed.
Agreed. All right, we're agreeing on a lot today. Let me ask you this, because tonight NXT is going to be in Philadelphia.
That's right.
Yeah. Did you? Are you going to be going to that? Or are you going to be heading to
No,
the
no,
ECW?
it sold out the day the tickets went on sale. They sold right out.
And now that's going to be at the ECW arena.
Right, yeah,
Wow.
yeah, man. I kind of grew up in that building.
Oh yeah, I've worked in that building a couple of times. So yeah, it's a long drive for me from Cleveland to Philadelphia. I was done it, but it gets old after a while when you start doing it.
Hmm.
But perfect. Oh, awesome. No, so anything. Is there anything that you want to add about the crown jewel, or just what do you think about tonight with NXT?
I think, you know, it'll be interesting because those titles aren't going to leave Saudi Arabia. Like those belts are going to stay there. Uh, and then each
They
wrestler
they
who won
they get a
them
ring.
got a
They get a ring.
ring, right? It'll be interesting to see like if they carry the rings, if they do something special with how they like build around
Yeah,
having those rings. I'm just curious to see like where it's going to go with everything. It's just got the potential to be something interesting and cool.
like for instance, somebody does an angle, they could take the ring and steal it, and
Right, right,
oh, they got the ring. Like what happened to the Undertaker's urn 100 times. They
right.
always took his urn. They took his urn. They took her gerbs.
They broke his show.
Yeah, there you go. Didn't they do that with like Goldberg did that to Steve McMichael, Mongo McMichael at WCW because McMichael had a Super Bowl ring.
I believe it sounds
Yeah, yeah,
like it's something they had done.
yeah. It's a wonderful thing. Wonderful, wonderful thing. So since I know this isn't a political show, did you stay up late watching results last night?
No, I fell asleep. I fell
I
asleep at
I
like
was we were up
11.
for a while. Well, it's funny. My wife was like, "Watch." She had the phone. She had it on something on her phone, and it was kind of giving her updates of vote counts and electoral college votes and this and that.
Mm,
And she's telling me, and I had it on Crowder, so
mm,
I'm just watching Crowder and just watching the things that's going. And it was funny because hers was saying one thing, Crowder was saying something else, and I go to Daily Wire on my phone, they were saying something else. So different outlets were having different returns coming in, and some were more confident in calling certain states versus others.
mm,
But hey, I think they wanted to make sure they got it right, whichever end of the whichever whoever you work for, because you want to keep your credibility as much as we want to here when we talk about wrestling, or we
mhm,
talk about anything that we want to do. So that's all it was. That I'm not really getting on either side of it. I'm just saying it was just interesting to see this, and it was an unusual because when I voted, and that's a shoot. I did posted this on X. That was a shoot. I had my because in Ohio, in order to vote, I think you need to show your ID. It's
right.
upstate law in Ohio. I don't know. Do you have to
Mm.
do that in PA?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I had to show my
Mm,
driver's license, and the poll worker just looks at it and says, "You have like the nicest driver's license picture, one of the nicest smiles I've ever seen." She said
mm.
that to me, and I'm like, an old lady. I was like, "Oh, thank you. That was so sweet of you."
That's
I
very,
just
that's very nice.
that was very nice of her. Yeah. I like, okay, thanks.
Good.
I just thought it was funny. I just was just like, all right, that made my day.
Yeah. That's
So,
awesome.
but 4 years ago when I voted, I had to wear a mask. So we all showing up wearing masks. Yeah, and it was a weird thing because there was some construction thing was happening at our usual polling place, so they moved it to somewhere else.
Mm.
And I don't know if that caused any confusion or not, but everything looks pretty good though. But
I
all right,
went
go
with
ahead.
Alyssa in the morning to her polling place, and like she went in and out like there was no line. But with me, I had to wait in line for 2 hours.
Really?
Yeah, it was crazy. It was a long, long, long
How far
line.
apart do you guys live? I mean, how distance
Well,
wise would you say?
I mean, well,
You're moving
it's
in.
a
I don't know.
yeah, right. It's a well, my polling place is about 41 minutes away from where her polling place is.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's yeah. So did you officially change your
No, I
address
haven't
and everything?
changed my address or anything yet. So
Yeah. So next time it probably won't be as
yeah,
much if
next time
you
it
do.
won't be as yeah, next time
Yeah.
it won't be as long of a
Yeah.
line or
Yeah.
anything. It's like,
Yeah. Because
by then we'll be married, and
yeah, 4 years
things
from
will
now,
be different. Yeah.
we will have met each other in real life,
Yeah,
IRL.
yeah.
It
IRL.
it's interesting too. Was when the only time I ever voted absentee was when we were moving back from North Carolina because I was around the 2016 election.
Right.
We voted absentee, and we were
Okay.
able to because we were still technically residents because we didn't sell our house yet until we didn't have the deal officially inked until Thanksgiving of 2016, and it didn't go through
Hmm.
until December 30th. of that year. So it was just a circus. We still had our house there. We just had to wait to sell it. So
Right.
and then we closed on the house up here. It was one of those it's real stressful if you ever have to do that. Trust me, it is. But anyway, Crown Jewel. Like I said, the Cody Rhodes Gunther match made the show for me.
Mhm.
The LA Knight match made the show for me. Everything else was but I
If you had to give an overall grade of the entire premium live event, the entire event that was Crown Jewel, what grade would you give it,
I gave it a
star
solid B.
wise?
A star or star,
Yeah,
with 4 being the highest,
5 being the highest.
5 being the highest. I'd give it 3.5.
That's fair.
I give it 3.5 because of just those 2 matches just made it for me. The women's match was very athletic. It was good. I mean, it was, but sometimes there's just so much going on. But for me, I'm old and slow, so
Right.
slow it down, damn it.
I feel like they lost a star with
Kevin
doing
Owens.
that Kevin Owens Randy Orton blow off thing. That was cheap,
Yeah,
you know. Um,
yeah. Could you imagine going over that match in the locker room? Okay.
right.
You really, I,
And then we fly home.
yeah.
There's no going home in this match, but we're flying home before this match ends. Time to take it home, brother.
There you go, brother. All right, we're ready to take it home now. Hey, I appreciate each and every one of you. Check out the sponsor, Hemisphere Coffee Roasters. Click on the link, order up some coffee. Thank you. Appreciate you. Check us out every Wednesday. Check us out on Spotify, wherever you get any of your podcasts. We are the StewKast Wrestling Podcast on the Combat Zone Network, a subsidiary of the Fans First Sports Network. I am Lou Marconi. Feel free to always reach out to me on Instagram at lmarconi251, at lmarconi1973 on X. My friend, co-host, and hetero partner, Corey Castle at Corey Castle. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for joining us today. We appreciate each and every one of you. Next week, we're going to talk. I think we're talking about Raw and SmackDown like we normally do.
Yeah.
Is there any events you want to talk about or anything?
Well,
I don't think there's any.
we could talk about NXT in Philly.
If you want to do that, yeah, why don't we just
Yeah.
do that? Yeah, talk about NXT and Philly. I wonder how. The best joke I ever made was with Blue Meanie and I were making an exchange on Twitter, and was when the NFL draft was in Philadelphia, and I said,
Right.
"Well, how many ECW chants are we going to hear in Philly?" And he started laughing. He's like, "No, you're going to hear you effed up, but I'm not going to actually say it." He goes, "You effed up." And I said, and he's like, "Only after the Browns pick." That was the joke. So that was it. So anyway, guys, hey, thank you all for joining us. We appreciate you. Feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe. We're here. We're going to be back next week. We'll talk about NXT in Philly. Why not? We'll change it up a little bit.
Dude, also, people, if you're listening to the show, support professional wrestling, support indie wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Go to your
go out and see a local show.
And it's
If you
easier to find than ever with the internet. You can
Right.
look up local
Right.
independent shows around you. But it's easy to find it. Yeah. Go out and support it. Absolutely. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to talk over you.
support indie wrestling content creators. Support this show. Hit the like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. Get some of that Hemisphere Coffee Roasters, and it helps. Every little bit helps.
Yeah. Absolutely. Every little bit helps. And we appreciate that little bit from each and every one of you. All right. We'll see you next week, 12:35 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be back. All right. Hey, have a good week, people. Enjoy your wrestling.